Everyone talks about how hard it is to lose weight, but the truth is, losing the weight is actually the easiest part. What no one tells you is, keeping the weight off is the real challenge. In this video, I'm breaking down what weight maintenance really looks like and how to make it work for real life without constantly gaining the weight back. So here's the big misunderstanding there is about weight maintenance. I think most people look at it as, well, I just get to a certain weight and I just hold that weight for the rest of my life and it just stays there forever, which unless you're just crazy hyper diligent and your life is just ruled by fitness 24/7, that's just not really going to be realistic. Not to mention your weight fluctuates pretty significantly even on a day-by-day basis thanks to water weight. But the thing is, even if you are super diligent and you stay on top of things, it's like life is going to happen. There's going to be things throughout the course of the year. There's always going to be things like special events. You're going to have weddings and vacations and get-togethers and the holiday season. So even if you're spot on for the rest of the year, but you let yourself have a little bit more fun during this time, you're going to gain a little bit of weight, and that's okay. But the thing is, even if you only gain 2 pounds per year, which honestly would be fantastic, well, in the next decade, you're going to gain 20 pounds. In the next 20 years, you're going to gain 40 pounds. Weight is going to add up over time. So weight maintenance isn't necessarily about never gaining any weight. It's more about a range of weight that you can stay within. You're going to hold that for a significant period of time, hopefully even years, and then you're going to have small cuts in between to get you back down to the bottom end of the range. Like for myself, I pretty much maintained my weight pretty well for the last decade after going through a big transformation. But within those, there's been times where I've been higher and lower, and I kind of fluctuate within around about a 10 to 15 pound range. And when I get uncomfortable and get to the top of that range, that's when I come back and cut. But because I don't cut frequently, my metabolism's in a good place when I get there. I can quick cut, not spend a ton of time with it, get back down to the bottom end of the range, and then take it from there. But the problem is, if you panic every time you gain a few pounds, or anytime you have some sort of event coming up and you feel like you have to diet for, you end up dieting over and over and over, and it just trashes your metabolism, makes it almost impossible to even see results, and you just end up gaining even more weight than you would have had you never even dieted to begin with. So it's so important to not put too much pressure on this and type all your self-worth in body shape, body weight, body image, and understand at the end of the day, nobody really even notices the changes with us. Nobody even cares. There's a huge discrepancy in how much we worry about what everyone else thinks versus how little anyone else actually cares. And if your life is ruled by a number on the scale or how your clothes fit, it's gonna lead you to be miserable. And honestly, like, why do this stuff if you're going to end up hating life because of it? Now, health is important and you need to take care of yourself, but I'm telling you, no matter how good a shape you get in, if you're constantly panicked about gaining weight and feel like you're failing anytime the scale creeps up a little bit and you're always stressing out about it, your life will be miserable. And I want you to be happy, healthy, thriving, and that can't happen if your life is ruled by the scale. So with that out of the way, let's talk about some strategies you can take to make sure you do roughly maintain your weight the best you can. And that starts with when you finish your cut. Understand this. Yes, you can bring your calories up, but your maintenance calories from before you started your diet is not going to be the same as after. You now weigh less, you're carrying around less mass, so your maintenance calories won't be as high. And whenever you finish the diet, your maintenance calories be even more suppressed than it should be, even just through weight loss alone, because of what's called metabolic adaptation. So you've had changes to your hormones, your metabolism has slowed down, and you need to get it to speed back up again. So the last thing you want to do is finish your cut and stay on these low calories that you finished your cut on, because that's going to just be disastrous. You're going to be super hungry. You're not going to be able to have any flexibility in your diet. It's going to feel impossible. You're going to feel overly restricted. So you want to work your calories back up. And you do this with a process called reverse dieting, where you more gradually increase your calories, work them up week by week to get them up to a spot where you feel like it's more sustainable and you can have some more flexibility, but also keeping yourself relatively steady. So maybe you're increasing around 50 to 100 calories per week. You can make a bigger jump that first week, especially if you're losing more weight. Like if you've already been losing a pound a week on average, you can easily jump up 400 or 500 calories and have that be your new maintenance at that point, and then make small increases from there. But the point is, you're going to bump up your calories over time. This allows your body to keep up with those increases, and your metabolism kind of adapts along the way and helps minimize any of that extra fat gain. Whereas if you just jump them straight up off the bat with a suppressed metabolism, you're much more likely to gain weight more quickly. But the big problem most people face is they treat weight loss like some temporary solution. Well, I'm just going to do something super extreme and try to get the weight off, and then once I'm done with that, I'm just going to go back to the way things were. But if you go back to the way things were, well, you're going to go back to the way things were, right? You're going to regain the weight. So you have to keep up with a healthy lifestyle. You have to continue to work out. Now, you do not have to do as much to maintain weight is you have to lose weight. So you can back off some, you can taper your cardio down, you can train a little bit less if you want to, but you overall have to stay with the process and not fall into this all or nothing mentality that absolutely destroys people. Keep in mind too, when you do first start increasing your calories, your carbs have been low, so your body's pretty depleted of glycogen. Glycogen is like the storage form of carbohydrates in your muscles and liver. You eat carbs, the body breaks it down into glucose, that glucose gets shuttled into your muscles in the form of glycogen, and every gram of glycogen in your body is also accompanied by 3 grams of water. So you're down in water weight when you finish your cut. When you start increasing carbs again, it's gonna help you feel better, it's gonna fuel you up, and it's just gonna be really helpful for you. But that initial increase can cause a couple pound spike on the scale, but that initial spike has nothing to do with body fat, so don't panic if you see that scale creeping up. Then when you work up your calories and you get to a spot where you feel like you have more flexibility in your diet, you feel good overall, things like hunger hormones have started to settle, you're not so focused on food anymore. Now, if you want to take some strategies to start being more intuitive and continue to kind of eat the same way, but not be so diligent with your tracking, you're able to do so, but just keep in mind that's the balancing act, right? Like the more you want to maintain your weight, the more effort you have to put in. And if you really want to maintain as much as possible, it's going to require more effort. So it's a balancing act that only you can decide what's most important to you. Remember, a sustainable lifestyle means you don't do things in extremes. So slow down, focus on enjoying the process, and then when you finish your cut, whether it's because you've reached your goal or you're just over it and you can't do it anymore or your body's not responding, don't give up, don't say F it, just go through a reverse diet and start gradually increasing those calories, and you can always come back and cut again later. But if you're kind of unsure about reverse dieting or how to go about it, you can check out this video next, and it's gonna cover everything you need to know, from how fast to increase your calories, how long to do it. So check that out next, and I'll see you in that other video.